Japan is arming itself like it never has before.
Japan is already committed to doubling its defense budget under China's huge military buildup in the Pacific.
What it views as a more dangerous global era.
China and Japan have a long history of rivalry and conflict dating back to the late 19th century. The two Asian giants have competed for influence and resources in the region, often clashing over territorial disputes, historical grievances, and military ambitions. While China has emerged as a global superpower with a formidable arsenal of conventional and nuclear weapons, Japan has not been idle in its quest to maintain its security and status. And now, in a surprising move, Japan recently claimed to have successfully tested a very powerful weapon, one of its kind, and this weapon has certainly gotten China's attention. So what is this weapon? Join us as we discuss how Japan just fired the world's first laser railgun in an attempt to scare China. Recent reports show that Japan has achieved a milestone in its defense capabilities. They tested a medium-caliber electromagnetic railgun on an offshore platform, bolstering their security in response to growing regional threats such as China's hypersonic missiles. The Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force worked with the Acquisition Technology and Logistics Agency, a division of the Japanese Ministry of Defense, for the test. However, there are limited details available about the test specifics and timing. According to ATLA, this was the first time any country had accomplished such a goal, as maritime railguns are typically mounted on ships. Japan's goal is to use this railgun on both land and at sea, making this test a significant step forward in advancing this cutting-edge technology. In a previous report by Shepherd Media, it was noted that the ATLA railgun currently employs 5 megajoules, about 5 million joules of charge energy. This allows it to propel projectiles at a speed of approximately Mach 6.5, which is equivalent to about 2,230 meters per second. ATLA's goal is to eventually enhance this railgun's capability to operate with 20 megajoules of charge energy. ATLA made this big announcement on Platform X, which was formerly known as Twitter. They also shared impressive video footage of the railgun in action, displaying the firing of projectiles from different angles. This technology showcase was a remarkable sight. Additionally, the Japanese Ministry of Defense, or MOD, revealed its decision to work on an electromagnetic weapon system to counter hostile hypersonic missiles in early 2022. This signifies Japan's commitment to enhancing its defense capabilities against emerging threats. Also, ATLA stated that it was advancing work on electromagnetic railgun. An ATLA spokesperson said in an interview that, since the financial year 2016, we have studied the underlying technologies of railguns. In the studies, we have worked on increasing launch velocity and establishing material technologies for the rails, which have high current endurance characteristics. An electromagnetic railgun is a device that uses electromagnetic force to launch high-velocity projectiles. The basic principle is to create a strong magnetic field between two parallel metal rails and use it to accelerate a sliding armature that carries the projectile. The armature completes an electric circuit between the rails, which are connected to a power source. The current flowing through the circuit generates a magnetic force that pushes the armature and the projectile along the rails. The faster the armature moves, the stronger the magnetic force becomes until the projectile is launched at very high speeds. Electromagnetic railguns have some advantages over conventional guns that use chemical propellants, such as higher muzzle velocity, longer range, lower cost, and less explosive risk. However, they also have some challenges, such as high power consumption, large size, rail erosion, and thermal stress. Japan has been developing its railgun technology since 2012 with the aim of enhancing its point defense capabilities against a wide range of aerial threats at sea, including incoming hypersonic cruise and ballistic missiles. Japan plans to mount the railguns on some of its destroyers and multi-purpose missile defense vessels, which have improved power generating capabilities. The Ministry of Defense intends to steadily work towards the early practical use of railguns in order to accelerate the strengthening of Japan's defense capabilities. Japan has had a long-standing interest in integrating railgun systems with long-range missiles to create a comprehensive defense strategy against aerial threats. This strategic move has been on Japan's radar for quite some time, with officials expressing their commitment to developing this cutting-edge technology. While there isn't specific information available about which ships in Japan's fleet will eventually host these railguns, Japan has hinted that they may be installed on some of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force destroyers. This is seen as crucial because the development of long-range missiles by regional adversaries puts Japanese destroyers at risk. Furthermore, it has been mentioned that ATLA intends to equip several land-based trucks with railguns for engaging hypersonic missiles, underscoring Japan's proactive approach to defense against these advanced threats. Previously, Japan had planned to boost its ballistic missile defense capabilities by incorporating the Aegis Ashore land-based system into its existing arsenal, which includes Aegis destroyers and the Patriot Advanced Capability 3 ground-based system. However, in 2020, the Japanese government decided to abandon this plan. The current approach focuses on integrating railgun interceptors into the existing missile defense system. Japan is considering the use of long-range missiles, allowing them to engage targets from a distance. These systems would operate together to create a three-tier defense mechanism. This new setup would address the vulnerabilities in Japan's missile response capabilities. Furthermore, operators can adjust the speed at which interceptors are fired from railguns by controlling the amount of electrical power used. These decisions would be based on the speed at which incoming missiles are approaching. Railguns are also relatively stealthy due to the small size of their projectiles, providing a tactical advantage in missile defense. The next-generation railgun system is expected to be operational in the latter half of the 2020s. This system will not only provide Japan with long-range missile capabilities, but also multiple interception capabilities. What's particularly remarkable is that while the U.S. military chose not to pursue electromagnetic railgun technology, Japan has remained steadfast in its efforts. While it will require several rounds of testing and improved platform integration before the system can be fully incorporated, Tokyo has made significant progress in this direction, demonstrated by recent successful tests. The main reason for this development stems from the increasing concern over hypersonic weapons emerging from regional adversaries such as China, North Korea, and Russia. These advanced hypersonic missiles pose a significant challenge to Japan's security, prompting a proactive response. One key point of note is that Japanese policymakers are not solely focused on intercepting incoming missiles, but are equally concerned with stopping them from being launched in the first place. They view this technology as a preventive measure that can send a strong message to potential aggressors. The current idea aims to add railgun interceptors to the missile defense system already in place. In light of these evolving threats, Japan is actively enhancing its defense capabilities and boosting its military readiness. This includes plans to accelerate the procurement of Tomahawk missiles, which have proven effective in long-range precision strikes. Additionally, Japan is committed to developing its own long-range missile technology, which would offer greater flexibility and control in responding to various security challenges. Furthermore, Japan is pursuing the capability to strike adversary military bases, a measure that could act as a deterrent against potential aggressors, particularly in response to a more assertive China. The investment in these advanced military technologies is part of Japan's broader strategy to ensure it can effectively respond to any emerging threats, uphold regional security, and foster peace in the Asia-Pacific region. Japan's concerns about North Korea's missile capabilities have also grown because North Korea's weapons have expanded significantly, with the inclusion of many hypersonic weapons. Just a year ago, North Korea launched a ballistic missile over Japanese territory, landing in the Pacific Ocean to the east. In response to this threat, Japan has been vocal about its commitment to intercepting any North Korean missile that crosses its airspace. The development and integration of railguns into Japan's defense strategy are seen as a significant step in enhancing its ability to defend against such threats. In addition to North Korea, Japan faces growing concerns about regional security, particularly in light of China's technological advancements. China claims to have developed heat-seeking hypersonic missiles ahead of the United States. These advanced missiles are designed to target high-value assets like aircraft carriers and even moving vehicles. This development has raised further alarm in Japan, pushing the notion to explore advanced defense technologies such as railguns to counteract these evolving threats effectively. Military experts emphasize the strategic value of railguns in addressing a variety of aerial threats at sea. With their ability to fire projectiles at incredibly high speeds, railguns can be a desirable option for countering incoming hypersonic cruise missiles and potentially even hypersonic ballistic missiles. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section below.